Hi YouTube, I want to make a quick video here relating to magazines, specifically your training magazine and your carry/tactical magazines, if you will. So let me give you some thoughts here with the background that we have from out in the field and also being a firearms instructor for many years. And many times one of the things that I always find very funny is when these students are coming to class and they have to download their carry magazines, for example, and they're downloading their hollow points and making a little pile here, and then they're loading their full metal jacket training rounds. I kind of have to quietly chuckle at that when I see that many times. So here's my thoughts on that. Don't skimp on your magazines. Don't be that person that goes out there and spends an extra, or actually $5 or $8 less because you didn't want to spend the extra money on genuine magazines. For example, here, this is a Sig Sauer M11 9mm handgun. Buy factory magazines and genuine parts. Don't go with this aftermarket garbage that's out there. Yes, you're going to spend a little more money on it, but I'll tell you what, in the long run, they are better quality, and this is what the gun comes with. Spend the money on that, whether it's Sig, it's Glock, it's Smith & Wesson. Go with the factory magazines. So here's my take on magazines that I deal with. For every pistol that I will have a minimum of 4 to 6 tactical magazines. So these are my carry magazines, my self-defense magazines that are loaded with whatever hollow point or self-defense round that you decide to put into your pistol. So that sounds kind of excessive. Do I carry 4 to 6 magazines on me? Absolutely not. Let's talk about the tactical side as well, or the self-defense side of carrying a magazine out in everyday civilian or your work world. Unless you're a law enforcement or some military unit that may have to carry multiple magazines on you, I tell everyone that you should carry obviously what you have in your pistol. Okay, load that, and then at a minimum, go ahead and carry yourself 1 spare magazine. Okay, so that's what we're going to deal with. And that's what I suggest to everybody. Have at least a spare magazine. Well, you say, oh, well, I have 15 rounds in my magazine. I don't need any more than that to win a gunfight. You'd hope not. Or the argument comes into play, say, well, the FBI statistics say, on average, it only takes a couple of rounds to win a gunfight. Again, sure, understood. But you talk about carrying your spare magazine. This is an insurance policy. I have a spare magazine, so a few more ounces on my person. Doesn't really matter that much to me, but knowing now you've got 30 plus rounds on your person, why not? You have a spare magazine, okay? So back to the point at hand, tactical versus training magazines, or your self-defense carry magazines. In a training environment, magazines are going to get like this. They're going to get knocked down, dropped, bumped around, dirt in them. What I don't want is I'm taking a hard training day for a day or two, couple of days, or a week-long training class, and this is, say, my self-defense. I rely my life on this magazine. This magazine is getting beat around, kicked around, feed lips are getting bent, etc. So now I'm going to go ahead and reload my hollow point rounds back into the gun, or into the magazine, insert into the gun, and heaven forbid there's going to be a self-defense altercation that ensues. I rely on my pistol to do what it needs to do, like it did well in training, and somehow maybe the magazine got damaged or something happened and now my gun goes bad. So back to the argument of that is why we carry a spare magazine on our person. So here's what I'd like to conclude with. I'll tell you, for most people, I'd suggest go ahead and buy yourself 4 to 6 self-defense magazines, aka tactical mags, or whatever you want to do. And if you're one of those people that needs to rotate their magazine every other month or every month because you don't want the pressure in the spring, hey, rock on, you have extra magazines. Think about carry 2 magazines on your person. There you go, plus your handgun. So you've got whatever 20 plus, 30 plus rounds in your gun, and then you've got your empty magazines for whatever training you're going to go out and do. Okay, so that's basically what I would suggest. and buy quality products. Stick with the same factory ammunition and the factory magazines. So whatever ammo you're going to carry for self-defense, whatever ammunition you're going to use for training, it's so much easier getting to class, having your training mags already preloaded with your full metal jacket rounds, and not having to download your self-defense, whatever hollow point rounds you're using, and then getting those magazines damaged. So another point on what I do with all training mags, and I will go ahead and label them. So just initial them. Okay, put your initials and then the numbers 1, 2, 3. From a training mag perspective, ideally I like to have 3 to 4 training mags for every firearm that I have. These are the magazines that are in my range bag. These are the magazines that come to training with me. And then, like I said, I have my 2 magazines that are loaded with my carry method, whatever that may be. So here in a spare mag pouch, and then 1 in the gun, and there we go. So 3 training mags at a minimum, and then we deal with 2 self-defense magazines on your person. So like I said, 4 to 6 tactical or self-defense magazines, and you can carry some extra in your go bag or in your nightstand or however you need to carry it in your gun safe. So that's my thoughts on training magazines. A lot of people always really only have the 2 magazines that came with their pistol. So that's something where you want to invest your money in, not just the firearm. Get a couple of extra magazines. Now from here you have a solid piece of equipment, good gear, good holsters, etc. And then what you want to do now is you're investing in ammunition and training. Thanks for watching.